Welcome to the push.
This,
My name's Steve Machine Curran.
and I'm Kev, Big Daddy Allwood, and we are here with episode 47 of the Corona Push.
47.
47.
The Corona push.
Corona Push.
Have you got some updates? Do you want to ask about my attire?
Hey, what's going on with your outfit, man?
Well, it's the Corona anti-Corona outfit.
Oh, is that working for
I've
you?
been listening. Yeah, of course.
Pink merge, pink sunglasses?
Well, with Trump saying that you need to get special lights in, I figure this will attract more light.
Have you been injecting fucking Dettol into your veins?
No, I've been using a Dettol enema. And it seems to be working well.
Is that because of my suggestion of that, or you've actually been doing it
No,
on your own?
I've been doing it for a while anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I just mix it up. Do you have any numbers?
You just mix it up. Once it's up there, you mix it up, and then...
I mix it up in a pot and then... No, but do you have any COVID numbers?
Well, I did.
We're doing all right, aren't we?
Well, I did have numbers like 4 or 5 days ago when we were supposed to do this, but then you cancelled twice.
Sorry about that.
Um,
We're doing Australia. Sydney seems to be doing okay. We're getting better. There's less death.
yeah, we're down to single figures of new cases per day. It was like 5 or 4 the other day, right?
Yes.
I think and a pretty consistently under 10 per day.
Yes.
Which is great. New Zealand seems to have, or claiming they've wiped it out completely over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they went into lockdown early. They had their 5 weeks of lockdown up like a couple of weeks back,
Right.
and they just went hard in the paint, as the Americans say.
Yeah. I'm
Don't like that phrase?
not when
It was hard in the paint.
middle-aged white guys like Rogan are saying it.
Yeah, he says it all the time,
And
yeah.
Brendan Sharp.
Yeah.
It's a hip hop phrase,
Right.
isn't it?
I don't know if it's hip hop or
I'm
not.
pretty sure it is. What does it
Anyway.
even mean? Hard in the paint.
Yeah, I don't even fucking know.
It must be. I've got a hip hop dictionary that I should look up.
Yeah, you should. I don't know if it's hip hop. Probably look up Urban Dictionary. Anyway, the Aussie government is doing lots to help the people. There's
Such as
hundreds of thousands of people registering for the job seeker and job keeper schemes.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
Yes.
And they expect 6.7 million Australians are going to take up the job keeper, where the government pays their bosses to cover their wage, cover $1,500 a fortnight.
Yeah.
270,000 businesses have registered interest for that. So the government's really stepped up and cut like billions of dollars to help with people who can't work.
And
Have
accessing
you jumped on that?
super. Accessing super as well.
Accessing Super. Have you jumped on
Yeah,
the?
yeah.
benefit
I'm
thing?
still in the process of deciding what I'm going to do.
You should just do it, and I'll start paying you some money every fortnight
Yeah.
until the job picks up again.
Until the gym opens again.
Yeah.
Speaking of the gym, my knee injury. Have you got more COVID stuff?
Oh, there are. You go.
So my knee's working really well. I went to the doctor, Dr. Abu Al-Bala
Yes.
in Double Bay, and he had a look at it. He was quite happy. He said, just go for it, see what happens.
Yeah. Right.
There's a spectrum of people with the injured ACL.
Is he a different doctor? Was it the same one you've been going to?
Yeah, same one.
Right.
There's a spectrum of people. There's copers on one end of the spectrum, and then there's people that are on the other end that just can't do shit. They can't even walk or run or anything.
Are they basically full of shit, the hypochondriacs, or?
I don't know.
Legit?
I don't know. I think having a lifetime of training behind me must help a little bit. But so I've been running. I've been training. I squatted 60 kilos the other day, and but the first run I went to, I was really excited around the hill at Sydney Park, and I was like, "Fuck, this is awesome! I can run again." I got back and Gabriella said, "Oh, that didn't take you very long." Wasn't very supportive.
Right.
So,
Right. Oh well. Sometimes those closest to us bring us down, don't they?
I don't know. Do they?
Well, they can be unsupportive.
Yeah, she wasn't just.
Diets and so forth.
I think this is just another thing Steve's dealing with.
Right.
Amongst the
But
men.
it's legit. You're on fucking crutches, man.
Yeah.
Fuck your knee.
Yeah, 8 weeks. 8 weeks today.
Yeah, right. 8 weeks.
And I celebrated with running the Coogee Stairs of Death with Marcelo this morning and Dean.
You're a psycho.
Yeah,
I hate those things.
they're great.
They're horrible.
They are horrible.
Did you swim
They're-
afterwards?
Yeah, Yeah, really, really rough.
Where at?
Coogee.
Is the beach open?
Yes, very heavily managed by council workers.
Right, even at 6 a.m?
Yeah, it's quite busy at 6 a.m.
Yeah, right.
I feel like we're in confession here.
Yeah, I know, it is like that.
Which one's the priest?
Father, I have sinned.
So
back to COVID, man. If we talk about pros and cons, there are a few.
They are.
Air pollution is fucking down everywhere.
Is it?
In Australia, there are 3,000 deaths per year attributed to air pollution.
Really?
Normally, yes. Chances are we've eliminated some of those.
Okay.
I don't know the figures on how many we've eliminated, but if there were 3,000 deaths per year from air pollution, there's probably going to be less this year.
I saw some footage in Europe, in Venice, with the dolphins swimming in the water and the water clearer.
Oh, there legit was dolphins?
Yeah.
I thought that was just like a
No,
story.
there's footage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And LA has the cleanest air they've had ever.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's a positive.
Have you heard about what's happening with the homeless in Australia?
No.
So there are thousands of homeless people, and they've all been shipped off into 3, 4, or 5-star hotels.
Really?
For free, so that they can do social distancing.
Wow.
This is legit happening in Sydney.
I didn't know that.
They've given them a month, 30 days in hotels.
Right.
Because some of them didn't even know there was anything going on.
Right. Were they sick though?
No, but they're not social distancing. You know, they're all crowded together, camping in tents and so forth.
Yeah.
So they put them in hotels. The Central Sydney Mercure has a whole floor dedicated to homeless people.
Man, that'd be a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, I know. And so thousands of homeless, they're getting rid of, getting them off the streets.
It leads you to wonder whether the social distance is in Sweden, for instance. They're not doing any social distancing. They're just it's business as normal.
I've actually got 2 mates who live in Sweden.
Really?
Yeah, one in Stockholm and one in another town. And I spoke to one of them on the phone actually.
Right.
The other day. I messaged him to ask him how it was going there,
Yeah.
based on what we've heard, that everyone's not doing shit over
Yeah.
there. And he said, well, you see a slightly skewed version of what's happening. Sure, there are restaurants open and stuff, but people are generally staying apart.
Okay.
He was looking out the window of his business when I spoke to him, and he said there's about 22 people across the road waiting to cross the road, and they're all standing 2 meters apart.
Right.
He said, not much has changed. He said most people don't really talk to each other in Sweden
anyway. Okay.
They're quite.
They're not huggers, are they?
No, they're not that social.
No.
So he says it's not that hard for people to stay away from other people. Yes, they have kept the restaurants open, but what's happened is the government there has kind of left it up to the people to, do it themselves.
Okay.
And most people are complying.
Interesting. Yeah,
But they are having restaurants are still open and people can still dine in the restaurants, but they are spaced apart. It's not just like we're not doing shit and let's see what happens like we have heard on our news media coverage.
Could it be then that's why, say, a country like Italy, which is very passionate and they're all hugging and kissing each other,
why that spread so much there?
as opposed to somewhere like Sweden?
Oh, for sure, that's got to be a factor.
Where Swedish are sort of cold-hearted and
assholes. Yeah, look, it's an experiment, isn't it? So we've got to wait and see. But the benefit of people sort of coming into some contact still and not staying at home is that whole herd immunity thing.
Yes.
That people will build antibodies because they will have some contact with some people who have it.
Mm-hmm.
And they are reckoning that by the middle of May, that they will have herd immunity in Sweden.
Right.
Which I think is 60 or 70%.
And
of the population.
The economy won't be affected as much.
That's right.
Yes.
So
I think the biggest thing that we've got to discuss today, and the thing that we're both concerned about, is Joe Rogan stealing our shit? I listened to the episode 1458 with Chris D'Elia.
Chris D'Elia, yeah. I actually like Chris D'Elia. I think he's funny.
They're talking about shitting themselves.
Yes.
Continuously.
Yes.
In detail.
Yes.
And if my memory serves me correctly, on episode 46, which was prior to their show...
Yeah, we recorded it like about 4 days before they did theirs, but probably ours didn't go to air until perhaps the day before.
Yes, so on episode 46, we discussed obeying the poo voice. And then, bizarrely, a couple of days or so later, Rogan talks about it.
Yep. What do you reckon?
I think we need to...
He's watching our podcast?
Obviously.
He must be. I mean, he's got nothing else to do.
Our subscribers have jumped from 50 to 56.
Wow.
So someone's listening.
Wow.
And on a side
That's
note...
like a 10% jump, 11%.
I know. Maybe we need to cap it at 60. So.
Well, listen. I mean, if you compare our subscribers to his, he's got to be trying to get more.
He's got to be heard. He's got to be heard.
He's got to be like searching for content, and he's probably heard about us.
Well, the other thing is, of course, then later in the show, he's talking about shaving his butthole. And if our listeners go back, of course, they probably have listened to a few times anyway. On episode 8, we had that exact discussion with vis-a-vis rimming and
yes,
being
how clean we keep that certain area.
Yes.
Yeah. Look.
Is there something going on?
Well, the converse argument to that is that everyone has a butthole, and everyone has probably shat themselves at some time, and there's perhaps a limited number of subjects to talk about. So, chances of probability that eventually everyone's going to start talking about shitting themselves at some point in their conversation.
Yeah, good point. So I raised this with Gabriella, and her response was, but did they go into the lurid detail that you guys did? And I quote, no. I said, of course, no. And she said, well, that's the problem with you two. You just go too far every time.
Yeah, well, the people out there need to know the truth.
They do.
That's why they come to us for all the COVID
exactly right.
data.
Yes.
Up to date situation.
Because if you're a man in the... wherever
man in the middle.
Yeah.
My man, yeah, I've got
in Man the Who? In Who? What's the fucking disease place called?
I don't know. CDC.
CDC. That's it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Centre for.
You got a mate there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got the inside word. I've got the Russell Crowe whistleblower in there telling me all the data.
Russell Crowe.
It was in a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, where he was the whistleblower.
So the other day, I was really happy. I was looking at my phone, going through Insta, and I went, oh my God, I went to Bianca, Joe Rogan's following me. And she looked at the phone with disdain and said, it's a Joe Rogan fan page, Dad. He's not following you.
Okay, that might have been premature there. However, Rolly Winkler,
yes,
top 3 Olympia bodybuilder a couple of years ago,
with about 1.5 million followers, has
reposted some of your Instagram story.
That's right. He on episode 4, I think it was, the Meathead edition.
Yes.
Where we interviewed Chris Cavalos.
And we talk about Rolly a few times.
And Chris,
really
Chris talked about how much he'd like to spray tan him.
Yes.
And so we reshared that. William Jovis was with us as well. And Big Rolly, shout out to Rolly, he reshared our story.
That's right.
It's very exciting.
Hopefully, maybe those extra 6 subscribers were from his 1.6 million.
Yes. I thought it was Joe Rogan and...
maybe 3 from Joe Rogan's and 3 from Rolly.
Now, what else was we talking about? Yes. So you had a suggestion how we could, apart from getting more subscribers, you had another suggestion. I got this message the other day about how we could increase the memberships.
Yeah, that wasn't actually me. I'd left my phone open. I was the victim of
hacking,
or a harsh hack
by your
by my
partner,
loving partner. Yes.
Yeah, we won't go into detail of what she said because if we do, then I'll go into your prenup agreement.
No, won't.
Shout out to Jade. Yes, but as so this is an occasion where we haven't gone too far and haven't talked about it. Where was that from, actually?
Where was what from?
Well, there was a discussion that someone had about if you can suck your own dick, is it more like you're getting your dick sucked, or is it more like sucking a dick? What's in your experience? What have you found?
I believe that sucking your own dick would feel more like sucking a dick than getting my dick sucked.
Yeah, I believe.
But I personally haven't managed to achieve it.
Try as you might.
I tried many times when I was a younger fellow.
Yeah, you do that when you're young.
You're trying you're down in like a sit-up position, and you try and reach for it, and then you're trying to lift your ass up to get closer, but there's still like my dick probably need to be twice as long to get to where.
Well, you either need a longer dick or more flexibility. One of the two.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah, both would be beneficial if that was your goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Life goals.
Autofellatio.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. I didn't know that. I knew about autoerotic asphyxiation, which Michael Hutchence was a fan of.
Yes.
I don't really... Have you ever tried that? In your spare time?
Maybe.
Have you really?
No, I've never tried to throttle myself while jerking off while having sex. Is choking while actually in the act of sex?
No, by yourself.
Oh yeah, auto, right. No,
with a rope tied to your door.
I don't want to go the same way as
Michael.
Well, that guy from Kill Bill, the old guy with the long hair that was a bit of a martial arts dude.
David Carradine?
Yeah, he died the same way.
In real life?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
I did not know. So you learn something every day on the bush? I didn't know that.
Erotic asphyxiation.
Good name for a band.
Exactly the same as Hutchence.
Oh, that's a sad way to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they're probably happy at the time, but...
I wonder if it is that much of a rush that they were like so excited by the head rush of doing that.
I don't know.
That it was just pure pleasure.
I don't even like choking. You into that? If you have a willing participant?
Not really.
Handy?
I've done it. I've done it, and the first time this chick requested that I choke her while we were having sex, I was like, "What? Like, how hard?
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to hurt you? What are you talking about? I don't really want to hurt you."
Yeah.
But she was into it,
and
loved it.
Yeah.
Harder, she was saying.
So really, and so did she? What? Like, so you thinking at the time, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, I was kind of a bit weirded out by it.
Yeah.
Second time was better.
And how
So her face went red.
Really?
And she came super hard. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then passed out, or
no passing out. I relaxed my grip.
You've got to wonder what's gone on in someone's life to really. Do you think, or is that?
I did wonder, and then I thought, well,
who cares?
She had a pretty high-powered sort of position job, and quite a dominant
alpha female,
like a powerful job, and she would tell people what to do. So being submissive is probably the opposite of what she's used to.
Sure.
That was my
the old S&M thing.
That's what I summarised that to be. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the energy anymore.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That particular girl, woman, had a bit of an affinity to rougher sex than normal.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And that's what I put it down to.
Yeah. Each to their own. Whatever.
Well, you've got to step up and perform when it's demanded of you.
Yeah. No, I'm just too old now.
You just go to bed at 8 o'clock.
8:30, 9.
Yeah. No sex. Straight to sleep.
Usually I'm regretting eating all the food I've just eaten.
Speaking of eating all the food you've just eaten, or that I've just eaten.
Oh, really? Still?
I'm on day 3 of my... I really am.
Starts Monday.
No, I really am.
Yeah, I can tell.
No, it wasn't Monday, it was Tuesday.
Okay.
But look, we've been in isolation, and I've been eating rubbish. Like, I'll admit it. And I wasn't ready to stop eating rubbish.
Right.
I was sometimes having M&Ms for breakfast.
Are you serious?
Well, there was M&Ms there, and I had a coffee, and I'm like, I'll just have a few M&Ms.
Yeah, no, see,
terrible. Like bad KFC.
If I did that, if I had M&Ms for breakfast, I'd want to kill myself.
Okay. See,
and it'll all go downhill from there.
I've just been accepting the fact that I've been eating whatever I want for the last several months, really.
Right.
And I wasn't ready to stop. Like, I knew that during that period, that if I said to myself, okay, I'm going to stop tomorrow, I wouldn't, because I wasn't ready. I wasn't I didn't have the right headspace to take it on board and be serious about it.
So what changed?
It's gone on for long enough, and I've got a lot of back fat, and
back fat stuff.
I can feel it when I walk.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like a couple of grams under 100 kilos on the scales, and I thought, you know what, it's time. It's time. So today is day 3.
Okay.
I haven't eaten any rubbish for the last 2 days, which is quite different from prior to that.
Yes.
Last night I even got the fucking tin tuna.
Oh, you did?
I did last night, yeah, and I was eating it at like 11 o'clock before I went to bed.
Is it disgusting?
It's fucking revolting. Tin tuna. But I deserve it, and I'm going to do it every night. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking get back in shape, and that's the way it is. So we'll see next at episode 48 whether I've maintained it, but I plan to.
Okay. You can do
so I'm in the
cardio?
right headspace now. On day 3, it's getting easier each day. I'm doing mostly meat with a bit of greens. That's it.
Okay.
And even like after a couple of days, I feel tighter around the belly, not as bloated.
Mm-hmm.
You know? All that sugar and
Oh, it's disgusting.
yeah, I was going to bed each night with a big bloated belly, not feeling the best.
And you wake up for breakfast in the morning, you're still full.
No, I wake up and it's better in the morning because obviously you fucking farting and carrying on through your sleep. So let's see. I believe that I am in the right headspace now to keep it up.
Are you going to do cardio as well?
Oh, steady on, Steve. Don't get too carried away. No, yeah, look, I'll bring some cardio, and I've actually been training a lot at home. I've been doing exercises with my sons.
Yeah, cool.
And Toby's been hitting 50 push-ups each day.
That's great.
And I've been doing 200.
How old's Toby now?
10.
That's mad.
Yeah. No, so obviously not 50 in a row.
Okay.
But he'll do 10 or 12, and then another 10 or 12, and he'll just keep doing sets until he's completed. So he started out with 20 a day, and then I said the next day, why don't you do 25 today? So he did, and then he did 30. Anyways, he did 60 yesterday. So he's hit 50 for about 4 days in a row, and then he actually got to 60 yesterday.
Right. That's great.
It is great. Like, he's starting a couple of years before I started all that shit.
Yeah, he'll be jacked.
I started doing push-ups and sit-ups and stuff and chin-ups at about 12 or 13.
Right.
Daily.
Okay.
Trying to do as many as I could on each of those 3 exercises daily, and I wrote it all down, and I was pretty
probably more disciplined then than now.
I was disciplined, yeah. I was, like militaristic with it. I was
Yes.
really disciplined, and if I missed a day, I'd do double the next day to catch up.
And what about Jake? He's not interested? Or?
Jake's doing some exercise. He's not as committed as Toby. Jake's 2 years older than him.
Yeah.
But as part of his school homework, because obviously I'm homeschooling them, and when they're with their mum's homeschooling them. But remember when we were at school, we had PE as a class. They have PDHPE. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that?
Personal development, something, and PE. Like there's a bit of theory attached to it, and they highlight that in the title. So PDHPE. Took me a while to work out what that was too. Anyway, they were at his school or his year. They were given basically an alphabet of exercises, an exercise for every letter of the alphabet, and then the task was to exercise their name.
Oh, okay.
So J is jumping jacks.
Right.
A is atomic sit-ups, which is like a extended sort of sit-up thing. Anyway, each letter has an exercise, and they were supposed to go through and perform. So it might be K. So my name. So I was doing it with them, and so was Toby. So we're doing our own names for Jake, Toby, and
you didn't get any pushback from them to do this?
No, they were keen to do it.
That school's doing none of this stuff.
And they were supposed to do it like the task was to do it a couple of times over the holidays, right? But I was getting them to do it almost every day.
Okay.
So probably 5 days a week we were doing it.
That's great.
And then we all do our surname together. L is lunges, W is a wall sit, O is an overhead tricep extension, so we've got dumbbells out, and it's like, and I was trying to increase it says 10 to 20, so we started with 10 the first day. Second day I said, right, we're doing 15, and I just slowly increased it. And they were, it's only about 15 to 18 minutes of exercise.
Yeah, that's all right.
But doing that regularly,
Yeah.
the more they do it, the less they can complain about the next time I get them to do it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is good. And then I was adding curls and push-ups on the end of their workout as well.
Yeah.
And Toby's really into it. He wants abs.
Good
That's what he says. He wants abs. I said, well, you got to keep doing your exercises if you want abs.
Yeah.
And obviously eating his veggies and
Yeah.
trying to eat healthy. So, I'm really quite chuffed with
That's nice, man.
with their commitment to it.
I keep asking Bianca, come and do some light stuff with Daddy downstairs, and she's like, Daddy, I don't want to look like one of your man tablet women.
Yeah, but
Girls are different, I think.
is there a celebrity that's kind of curvy, perhaps, that she admires or likes the body shape of, or is she just anti the whole?
Oh, the whole fitness thing.
But is she anti what's happening with her with puberty? What's going to happen with her body and stuff? Is she?
Yeah, she's freaking out. She wants to be skinny,
She wants to be skinny,
and it's not going to happen.
she doesn't want
Doesn't want to be curvy.
boobs and a bum.
Doesn't want to be curvy.
Right.
Which is a bit late. Should have picked a different mum.
Yeah.
I think
once she gets a little bit older and she likes the curves,
Yes.
which I think she will.
for sure.
She's in 11 now, right?
12.
12. Okay, so by the time in a couple of years, she's probably gonna embrace those curves.
Because she's one of the oldest in the class as well. She's developed before a lot of the other girls. So a lot of the other girls are still sticks.
Yes.
And she's already getting little curves.
Yes.
So she just feels a bit...
a bit out of place.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. It's got to be difficult for a girl when, especially in her situation, when boobs start growing and the period comes along and stuff. It's got to be quite a lot.
In 6 months. In 6 months, so much has changed for her.
Yeah, right.
Whereas I think guys, firstly, it's not really visually evident when you dress like it is for girls.
That's right.
And it's a lot earlier for girls usually.
Yes.
Than boys.
Oh yes.
So
neither of my boys have got even close. Jake turns 13 this year in August.
Yeah.
So that's like 4 or 5 months away, and he's not started. He's not. There's no.
Yeah. So he's a year older than Bianca.
Yeah.
And
No pubic hair. Nothing yet.
B's
But I'd started by 11.
Yeah. Well, you would.
I reckon I had high testosterone from a young age.
Yeah.
Mm.
You think?
Yeah. I was a horny little cunt at fucking 9.
Really?
Checking out girls' tits and
Yeah,
stuff.
I remember I got caught in class in England, so couldn't have been older than 10.
Yeah.
And I got caught by the teacher looking up a skirt.
Mm-hmm.
That was my goal in her class.
I used to peep through the little. There was a small swimming school on in my primary school grounds that we would have swimming class in, and between the boys and girls changing room, there were little knot holes in the wood separating, and I used to look through at the girls all the time.
Yeah,
trying to see
Classy.
two little girls at that age that were developing already, and I would be checking them out hard.
Yeah,
and and I remember when I was 12. When I was 12, I used to sit next to this girl who was left-handed, and I'm right-handed, so she'd sit on my left.
Right.
And the hands that we weren't using, so my left arm was across down between. Whoa!
Don't ruin the studio.
Technology.
Fucking hell.
Sorry. My hand was in her pants, and her hand was in my pants.
That's ridiculous.
Fiddling around, not really knowing much, but still fiddling.
Yeah.
In maths class.
Yeah, which is surprising that you're good at maths.
Well, I was motivated to go to maths.
Yes. That's probably why. That stuck with you.
Her name was Sarah Allen.
Yeah, good that you mentioned a full name on.
Because she's listening.
Yes.
Was it Sarah Allen? No, that wasn't her name.
Different one.
That was someone else. That was another girl that I used to like when I was about 10.
Again in England, I remember Michelle Gethin.
Michelle?
Yeah, no, I don't. Probably not the same girl. You're in.
Yes.
We'd come over my place after school. We'd walk home together, and we'd climb into the wardrobe in my bedroom, and we'd pash.
How old were you then?
10.
Yeah, right.
I moved to Australia when I was 10, so it had to be 10.
You used to pash at 10. That's pretty early, man.
Yeah, so we didn't.
Tongue action.
And I remember, so it was so weird.
And you got a hard on?
Yes, so another girl used to come with us, and she would sit on the bed like reading books and stuff while we'd go in the wardrobe and pash. And we came out one day, and the girl on the wardrobe said, "Look at his willy, it's all hard."
Wow. And you pulled it out for her?
No.
Could have been a 3-way at 10.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That was the last time I got a hard on.
Well, you must have got it at least one time to procreate.
Yeah.
You started jabbing after that?
Yes, that's right. I was on steroids for 40 years.
Right.
I was thinking about that the other day because again, Chris D'Elia did that. He did that bit I sent you about
movie stars getting on steroids to get in shape.
Yeah, and it's sort of funny, but really, doesn't everybody know that now anyway? Maybe not. What do you think? Like,
I don't think so.
People look at Hugh Jackman in Wolverine and they don't realise that would be on every drug, all the drugs, growth hormone and whatever. He's not getting in that sort of shape. Same with Jake Gyllenhaal or The Rock. This is what I guess you as a natural competitor probably used to frustrate you all the time. But I'm seeing it now because basically, especially as old guys, people always get all this applause for being old and being still jacked. It's just gear.
Okay, when I get into shape next and I take my shirt off and show you, I'm gonna see if you think I'm gonna do it naturally. I'm not gonna be taking anything.
No, I believe you.
Diet and,
I believe
training.
You. Yeah.
And I predict I'm gonna look fucking shit hot.
Good. I'm glad.
And it's gonna be natural.
This is my point.
And I'm gonna have like that. It's gonna be a nice aesthetic physique. That's what I want. I want to get back to. I mean, I had that a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that's what.
Well, you got in decent shape in 2018. Went for the shred.
Well, that's a couple of years ago.
Hang on, no, we were still in shape. 2019 Mardi Gras when we did those videos. Oh, you were slipping a bit by then.
Yeah, but that's only like a year and a bit ago.
Yeah. No, my point is though that once you take gear, all bets are off. If you're an old man, if you're 50, 45, 50, and you take, it's like Rogan saying he's always making jokes about steroids, but sort of slips under the fact that he's on growth hormone and TRT.
He admits that.
He admits it, but it's like that has a profound effect on your ability to get in shape.
That's why
and
he's
retain
so
muscle.
Thick. He's got a thick.
Yeah.
You can see the thickness on the skin in his face.
And his face is bloated. That's water retention from gear. So I guess anyone posting 50 and killing it and being in shape, because I know, like, if I went on a cycle within 12 weeks of being on a cycle, even if I didn't eat really great, I would look pretty jacked and be lean.
Yeah.
It's so much harder being natural.
Oh yeah.
Especially very, very hard once you get to 50 and your test levels are non-existent. So I'm just gonna go on and take every drug imaginable. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I don't even want to. Like I really like feeling. I'd like to be a bit more muscular and lean, but I really like being fit.
Yeah.
And I'm happier. Like I laugh more.
Yeah, you've taken to it with vigor.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's nice. This is the weird thing, right? I thought more about being back on steroids and being jacked, and less people have seen me. So so that is purely some sort of self-esteem stuff going on.
Sorry, you've thought more about doing it.
I've been thinking, maybe because I injured my knee, I've been thinking, oh look, I'll get back on steroids, get really juiced up and look awesome for when the gym opens again.
Right.
What's that about?
And you've been thinking those thoughts.
And the irony is,
while less exposure.
Yeah, no one's seeing me. No one sees me. It's ridiculous, really.
Look, there are so many benefits to you embracing fitness training like you have.
Yeah. Not dying for one.
Well, yeah, you're extending your life expectancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas before you were shaving it down every.
I used to be on blood pressure medication.
There you go. Blood pressure. Your heart's probably in better shape.
Oh,
definitely in better shape.
Yeah.
But I actually feared that one day you'd drop dead, like legit.
Really?
If you had stayed on using steroids forever, because you never took breaks. So if you'd carried on, I mean, would you have lived past 55? Would you have lived past 60?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, true.
Now, the fact that you're exercising, running, you're improving your blood pressure, you're not so purple every fucking day.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be helping out.
Must be. Yeah.
It's like every they say every day a cigarette smoker stops smoking, they're adding time to their life expectancy. It's probably a similar sort of
I imagine
parallel with the steroids.
I see guys my age that are still pushing that barrow, that are, especially the guys that aren't even in shape. I don't understand that at all. Being old, being juiced up, and not being. I sort of get that you want to be super lean and have a great physique.
Steve Mack.
Yeah, like he's 46.
He's doing it properly.
46. Yeah, but he's crazy as well.
But if you're going to do it,
at least be in
properly.
shape.
Yeah.
For every Steve Mack, there's 100 old guys that are still juicing and just look like a bag of shit. Literally. So all they're doing is decreasing their health for what? For an extra 10 kilos of water.
Yeah, I know.
And so the traps and shoulders will be.
Look, there's a lot of guys that don't look good, that use steroids that don't look good.
That's actually the norm. The actual norm is. I know I've got clients that that would rather they'll take a little bit of gear rather than actually really finesse their diet and actually be super strict with their diet.
Yeah, look, that's hard, man. It's hard. I know. I've dieted 12 times for shows and successfully, and the last time was 8 years ago. Yeah, right.
I remember.
And the time before that was 9 years before that. Like I had a 9-year gap. I did 10 shows, 10 or 11. I had within 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Then I had a 9-year gap, and I thought it's time to do it again. I did it, and it was fucking hard work. Yeah. But once I got into it, once I got like in the pattern, in the habit of eating a pre-cooked, pre-weighed meal every 3 hours on the hour. Then it became every 2.5 hours because I was getting hungry off the same amount of food. Yeah. Like once you get into that habit, it's actually not that hard to do it. Yeah. Once you start seeing daily improvements.
That's right.
But that's like a month into it.
That's 4 to 6 weeks into it. Yeah. And most people,
and
4 to 6 weeks is their diet. That's their whole diet.
And then they stop. Yeah, that's right.
That's just the beginning.
No, I know. That's the time that it takes your body to adjust and go, okay, hang on, now this is what we're doing. All right. Yeah. And it starts utilising body fat for fuel and all that stuff. It's tough those first 4 weeks. Because first 6 weeks
especially,
are tough.
Yeah, because the weight goes down. You actually start looking smaller, but you're still fat.
Right, and each decade that passes you by, I believe that gets harder and harder. So, the last
unless you're on gear.
Unless what?
Unless you're on gear. Right, all bets are off then.
So, I did most of my competing in my 20s and early 30s, right? Yeah. My last time I competed, I hit 40 just before I stepped on stage. 3 weeks before I stepped on stage. So I competed as a 40-year-old. Yeah. And it was much harder. And now I'm 48. So for me, let's assume that this diet that I began 3 days ago, let's say I get into contest shape. It's going to be that much harder at almost 50 than it was at 40. And then comparatively again than it was at 30. Yeah. Like, it's not easy. So to these older guys who are in shape, like even if they are using steroids, you've still got to give credit to that.
For sure. But having a lot of experience in that, it's a completely different ballgame. Yes. I am. You're just tighter, and you can get away with more. What I'm finding now, when I restrict my calories enough to get leaner, I automatically start losing muscle mass as well. Which is the beautiful thing about steroids, that doesn't happen. You can go down to 2,000, 1,500 calories. Yes, for a period, stay full and hard, and you'll still be jacked. Yeah, that's not going to happen as a natural athlete. I mean, that's why so many natural competitors they'll get as shredded as the juiced up guys on stage, but they're a quarter of the size.
Yeah, they look I mean, I've been looking at some of Jen Noah from A&B. Shout out to Jen.
Yeah.
Some of her posts. A&B. Do you follow her? A&B.
Yeah, her competitors. Yeah.
And the guys are in great shape, but they look like just
triathletes.
There's no muscle there.
Triathletes.
Yeah, they don't look like they've got a good V taper or nothing. It's
hard to It's hard to.
I actually look at them and I think,
I
used to look better than them.
We did. You did.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
But I think, look. Yeah, I mean, we're going a big rant about how younger people don't train as hard.
Back to Joe Rogan and Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia doesn't train hard.
Yeah, what was that about?
In that rant,
I know, he was saying,
where he's saying all the Hollywood superstars that get jacked for movies are using steroids, they're using steroids.
Because he trains as hard.
He goes, I train hard, I train real hard. Bullshit, he trains hard. He wouldn't know what hard training is fucking exhausting. When you don't leave anything left, you leave it all in the gym and you walk out, you are fucking exhausted. You need to sleep. You're that knackered.
Yeah.
A big leg session.
He's not doing that. He's not
stumbling out because he can hardly lift your legs.
He's I know because I watched this comedy special, and he must have just got into his training recently because he's pretty excited because he mentioned that he trains on the comedy special as well.
Right.
He said he's got a big upper body and skinny legs.
Yes.
He's not putting in work, man.
Nah.
But most people don't.
But what is he doing? What would he be doing? 3 sets of curls and 3 sets of bench. I mean, that's got to be it. He's not super. He's
not going to war.
Drop setting. He's not fucking. Huh?
He's not going to war.
No, he's not. No, it's a different mindset.
Yeah.
It's pushing. It's squeezing every single last rep out like you do, and like Jordo does when he's training. It's like it's another level. It's inspiring and motivating, and not very many people do it.
Yeah,
you can walk into a gym and never see anyone doing that.
No.
Most days of the week.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're lucky, you might see someone doing it if you're there at the right time. One person.
I've trained guys that make a lot of noise when they train.
Right.
There's a few guys that and it looks, I guess, to the layperson, it looks like they're training hard. But then I've tried to take them through a leg workout.
Yes.
And they pull the pin because
people are soft.
People don't train to failure.
No, they don't.
Especially not on legs.
No, they stop.
Where they actually literally
they stop at a number.
Yeah. That's enough. No, it's hurting my back. My lower back's getting too pumped. My knee's a bit sore.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. When you can't move the weight, that's failure.
Yeah, when the weight
and then you and I have done, but you especially for us do all those assisted negatives and all that shit. Like people aren't doing that.
Yeah.
Complete concentric failure. So your partner lifts it up and you hold the negatives
and then static failure.
4 or 5 reps on leg extension, for example.
Yeah.
People aren't doing that.
Or if they are, they're doing a show. They're doing a showy version of it. Right. So they'll get people. They'll not reach failure, but they'll get someone spotting them.
Right.
Yes. The spotters to in a lift is to take the bar off you when you fail, or to keep it moving when you want to do some force reps. Yes. It's not supposed to be helping you do the reps
every rep of the set.
Yeah, or even at the end when you still can move it by yourself. Yeah. But the thing, again, genetics plus drugs will enable you to have a physique regardless of, you train like a fucking monkey and you'll still get a physique.
Right.
Just went off a tangent then, old man training.
Yes.
Do you know people that who trains hard that's young now, that you know? I don't know. I'm thinking of people at that gym.
That your client who won the
Peter, he trains hard.
Won the challenge.
Yeah, Fash. When I was training Fash on legs, he was training hard.
But like, I haven't seen anyone since Jordo left. I haven't seen anyone that trains as hard as him. No. He was the last young'un that came through.
Yeah, that really just left nothing in the tank.
Really left nothing.
Yeah, and
I remember seeing him do back training, like lat pull downs, for example, and he was squeezing out the last rep.
Yeah.
and then
as if you had a gun
last
pointed
rep,
at his
and
head.
then another last rep, and then
Yeah.
another, and it was taking like 5 or 10 seconds
Yeah.
to get one rep out. He was struggling that hard, but still persevering to get
Yeah.
that rep down. But
Yeah.
people don't do that.
And look at his physique, natural, 100% natural.
Great. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and jacked.
Mm.
Like he's a big boy.
That's how you get to that, though.
Yeah.
You have to push to that. I remember when I was first starting, when I was 18, 19, 20, and I was training, and I had Joe Weider's workout manual, little
Yeah.
black and white photocopied little thing, and it explained that you had to push, squeeze out those last reps. You had to take, and Arnold, you got to take your body, your muscles to a level that you've never taken them to
Yeah.
before. If you want to get that
Yeah.
success, that growth, people just don't have it in them.
There's a lot of distraction now. Phones are a big distraction.
Yeah.
People, and even guys with good physiques, they'll do a set.
I love that quote from Arnold where someone said to him,
I don't think that's real. That's a meme.
when they say you'll never, I would never want to look like you, and Arnold's reply is, that's all right, you never will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought there's a meme. You can interchange. It's either Ronnie or Arnold. Or Ronnie someone's saying, "What's the secret to your success, Ronnie?" As the 8-time Mr. Olympia, and he says, "Texting in between sets."
Oh,
Definitely
yeah, no.
texting in between.
Yeah, that is funny.
It's a default mechanism. Finish, you put the bar down, pick up your phone,
Yeah.
like you're doing now.
Changing the subject completely. What do you think about Cardinal George Pell getting his convictions overturned by the High Court? So this is the highest ranking
Pedophile.
Catholic
Allegedly.
in Australia. Yeah, he's up there, right up there in the Vatican.
Yeah.
He's like second or third in line. And like he's top dog, right?
Mm.
And he's old man.
Mm.
And there were men came forward who said that he interfered with them in the 90s, and he got convicted.
Yeah.
And then they got overturned in the High Court. But
Yeah.
did you know that there are new cases of guys who say he did that to them in the 70s, so 2 decades earlier.
They're coming forward now. Good.
In a different court, not the High Court, but in a I'm trying to remember what it was. Like a civil court, yes.
Right.
Which is a different level of court, and the decision in the High Court has nothing to do with these cases. Doesn't have any effect on them.
Right.
But people are hesitant to come. The guys are saying that others will come forward, but the fear is that people will be hesitant to come forward and go through telling their whole story, reliving it when the other ones got overturned by the High Court.
Yeah.
But you got these are guys that they say it happened in the 70s, 2 decades
Prior.
prior to the 90s cases that were overturned. I say he's been doing it the whole fucking time.
Of course he has been. Well, he stopped.
Nah, he didn't stop. 70s, how old is the old cunt? 70s, 80s, 90s, 1000s, probably even before the 70s, depending on how old he is.
Sure.
Like, he got away with it, so he carried on.
Yeah. I don't think it's the sort of behaviour where you can
Put a lid on it.
Yeah. I've had enough of boys now.
Yeah.
I'll put that to the side. It's their sexual persuasion.
Oh. Can you like sort out the technology, please?
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit like Catholic sort of. This is probably how it happened. It was probably a hole here, like a glory hole. It's like a glory hole.
That's what they're for. That's the original glory hole.
Was
confession box?
Confession box probably was.
No, did I?
Did Pell invent it?
Did
Pell invent the glory hole?
He would be like, hang on. He'd hear the sins, right? He'd be like, oh, I've been masturbating every night. I can't keep getting like sexual thoughts out of my head. And Cardinal Pell's like, wait there, son. And then he goes off and he goes in the little side door and fucking sucks them off underneath.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks. No, I am...
Allegedly.
I'm just paraphrasing. No, I don't know what happened.
No. Were you one of the choir boys? You wish. Do you have a Catholic upbringing?
No.
What was it?
0. Atheist.
Oh, atheist.
Yeah.
Same as me. We'd say that all right.
I wasn't christened or anything like that.
Well, my mum reckons that because with your parents atheism a reaction to having been brought up as staunch Catholics by their family?
My father, when he was a child, they went to church.
Yeah.
My mother did not.
Okay.
My mother's parents were German.
Right.
And they didn't practice.
They were Nazis.
They weren't Nazis. My grandfather, as a young man in his 20s, I believe, escaped Germany in the 30s.
Right.
Prior to it all happening,
right.
because of the build-up of what was occurring. He got out because he could see that shit was going to go down. And he got out of Germany, and he stowed away on boats and jumped in trains and illegally and worked his way. I think he went from Europe to, I don't even know where he went, but I know that he came down through the Pacific Islands, through like Fiji and places like that, and eventually got to New Zealand just before the war broke out.
Okay.
So he'd been living in New Zealand for maybe one or 2 years before World War II hit.
Right.
And because he was a European, particularly a German, who arrived in New Zealand in the years immediately prior to World War II, he got interned in a prison for the whole duration of World War II under the suspicion that he could have been a spy.
Where was this?
In
New Zealand?
In Wellington. In Wellington Harbour, there's an island in the middle of the harbour, and that became a prison during World War II for suspected
pedophiles,
overseas spies, you dickhead. So he was there he was German, there were Italians, there was I don't know where the rest of them were from, but he was imprisoned for the whole duration of World War II.
And then became a free man and then settled in New Zealand.
Yeah, just stayed in that same town, funnily enough. Yeah. Met my grandma and had my mum and her siblings, and that's why I'm here.
So how was there any Maori blood?
From my dad's side.
Oh, okay. Right.
So my dad's side was the Maori side.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so my dad's grandma was like a half caste, I think, something like that. So I've got a little trickle of it, really, not a lot.
1/16.
Yeah, I should have married a Maori girl and put her back in, got the blood up, increased the bloodline.
Then your kids would be they've got a bit of colour now anyway. They're a bit olive skin, slightly.
Yeah, a little bit.
My parents were both brought up as staunch Catholics.
Right.
We used to go to my grandmother's place, and there would be terrifying pictures of Jesus bleeding with
really?
up the stairs.
Shit.
Terrifying.
Crucifixes on the wall everywhere?
Yeah.
In each room?
Hardcore.
Shit like that?
Yeah.
Did you ever turn them upside down?
No, but my uncle was a pedophile, so
fuck.
Didn't really help him. Maybe that's how it started. But so my parents both became staunch atheists when we grew up.
Yes.
No, it was all very science Darwinian based sort of discussions around the dinner table, and
So the grandparents didn't insist on you getting baptized?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. My mum seems to think that my grandmother, when she would be babysitting us, probably took us off to church.
Right.
And
got some water dropped in your head or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's just you don't know that happened. You just get.
No, that's what my mum assumes. So do you have any sort of spirituality in your family? Do you discuss anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Bianca goes to a Catholic church.
School.
Yes. Yeah, and church actually.
Yeah. My daughter in Canberra is being schooled at a Catholic school.
Okay.
Her mother's choice, believing that it's the best education.
Right. There's some good Catholic schools.
Right. One time when I spent time with her, she was talking about Jesus to me. Right. She couldn't say the alphabet or spell a name, but she could tell me how Jesus rose from the dead and all that shit.
Life skills.
Yeah.
On that note, we should probably wrap this up. I've got to train a client.
Yes.
Do you have anything more to add?
Oh, there's a couple more stories, but they can wait.
We can have them on 48.
48. Yeah.
We've also but apparently Paul Cazzo has actually worked out the technology to do a Zoom meeting.
Oh, yeah. What, with recording it?
Yes. So
we might have a guest next time.
Yeah, from Barcelona.
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 Yeah, where there's quite a different situation there. They've been in a hard lockdown.
They have been. Okay, if you're on hard lockdown, you should subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and like and share these videos.
That's right. Subscribe.
Like,
Down below.
share.
YouTube.
Peace out.